Making sure it's recording.
I
Three,
know.
2, 1.
Woo!
Forward time with Myriad. We've had some technical difficulties as of late, but we are rocking and rolling.
We are.
The goal of today is to share what is happening with HYROX at Myriad Fitness and Yoga. So we have a lot of things that have taken place. We've recently ran our simulation and it's gone really well.
Yep.
Talk to me a little bit about what is happening on Thursdays at Myriad.
So on Thursdays at Myriad, people who come consistently may have noticed that Thursdays the last 3-4 weeks, month or so, have been a little more cardio focused, longer, sweatier workouts. That type of programming is going to continue on Thursdays, and Thursdays will become HYROX programming days.
Love it.
Which is very exciting. So if you're enjoying those longer types of workouts, we typically don't lift heavy on CrossFit anyways. On Thursdays, we'll be doing HYROX instead on Thursdays, which is still a part of CrossFit.
Yeah, and something I want to kind of dive in on that is like at the end of the day, training for a HYROX race, which we've talked a lot about that on other previous episodes, is like training for CrossFit. GPP, general physical preparedness. We will be a little bit more focused on the HYROX movements on Thursdays, which I'm really excited about. Not this Thursday, but future Thursdays, we're going to have the mats out. So there's going to be sled pushing, there'll be sled pulling, there'll be sandbag lunges, there'll be lots of wall balls, which we have in CrossFit as well. So just really excited to do some different type of movements within our class programming. Talk to me a little bit about 4 members. What does that mean for their membership?
So if you're already a member with us, nothing is going to change for you except that the name of the class on Thursday will look a little bit different.
What will it look like?
It will say CrossFit-HYROX is what I'm going with.
Cool.
I'm pretty sure. It will definitely say HYROX in the name of the class.
Yeah.
Just know that if it says HYROX, it's still included in your membership.
And in the future, I think we've talked about potentially just naming Thursday classes HYROX as a whole to help general public. Just so everyone's on the same page, we're hopeful that we can bring in some new people and that become more interested in Myriad Fitness and Yoga through this. And then this has happened already. Then hopefully they see CrossFit and they're like, oh, I can do that, or I want to do that, or I need to do that, or that's going to help me for HYROX. And that's the goal with that. So right off the bat, it'll say CrossFit/HYROX or dash HYROX.
Probably.
And maybe eventually it might say HYROX. But with that, everyone's memberships still count for that class.
Yes, nothing is changing to your membership. You just are going to Thursday class and it's called something different, but it is still a part of your membership.
Love it. So let's speak to non-members right now, individuals who have reached out to us, which is quite a few of them, been like, hey, love the HYROX simulation, definitely want to do the 6-week training series, which we'll talk about here in a second. What can I do now to get involved and start doing HYROX classes? How can people join us now to do this?
Yeah, so that Thursday HYROX class, anyone can drop into. So we'll have a HYROX drop-in specifically for our Thursday classes.
Love it.
So you can purchase that just like you would a drop-in at any other gym, but it will just be applied to our HYROX class. There's no onboarding or foundations that you need to do for that. You can jump into a HYROX class. And additionally, we'll have an option for a punch pass too. So if you want to buy 10 classes at one time, you can do that. There'll be a slight discount to the classes. You can buy 10 classes at once. And those will be good for our Thursday HYROX classes. And we'll also include in that our Sunday classes, which are called MOVE, which are another longer, more cardio-focused workout. It's not HYROX, but it fits pretty well in with the HYROX family.
Absolutely. And those Sunday classes are at 8 a.m., 9 a.m., and 10 a.m., correct? MOVE classes. Love it. Cool. So I think we've nailed the Thursday and the ongoing current structure of what we are going to offer with HYROX. Let's fast forward a little bit and let's go off the success of our last 6-week training series. We've already had quite a few people reach out hey, when's this happening? I want to train for Chicago, which I believe Chicago HYROX, the official one is November 15th, 16th.
I think
I believe.
So, yeah.
So with that, we are going to be doing a 6-week training series leading up to the Chicago HYROX. When does that start? What does that look like? And if you don't know the answer to those, I can answer those.
September 15th.
Monday, September 15th will be day 1.
Monday, September 15th is when it starts, and we're going to have
two
days a week, 2 groups. So last time, it's okay. The last one we only had 1 group, and we did a Monday morning at 5 a.m. and a 6:30 p.m. on Wednesday evenings.
Correct.
And We got some feedback, which we expected, that it was hard to do
yeah.
early morning and late night.
It was
which
hard
is
for me to
totally
coach it,
understandable.
so.
Yeah, totally. So what we decided was we'll do a morning group and an evening group.
Love
so
it.
what that looks like is 5 a.m. on Mondays and Wednesdays.
Yep.
And 6:30 p.m. on Mondays, Wednesdays, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. So our hopes is we're going to have 20 people, 20 spots available for that morning group. And then 20 spots available for that evening group. And then once those sell out, they're sold out. Like we don't have any more space for that. So essentially 40 spots for those who want it to go through a 6-week training series. And it was awesome. I've had great feedback from the people who went through the last 6-week training series.
Why is that different than just coming into class?
Yeah, great question. So the 6-week training series, we're doing good today, working off each other. So the 6-week training series, essentially you get 2 in-person classes a week. And then you also get an at-home workout, which is going to be a little bit more long, slow distance, kind of like you have to run to do a HYROX, so it's a little bit more running based. Also within that 6-week training series, we're going to have halfway through that, we'll have a like half HYROX kind of simulation, so people who have never done the movements in a row can kind of get a little bit of taste of that as well. That I forget exactly what date. I know that's going to be either late September or early October.
I think it was like around the 11th or something.
Gotcha. And then so we'll have that as well included in the price, which is great for the 6-week training series. Plus, you just get to train with everybody who's training for a HYROX. So you get to do the movements all week long or throughout the entire 6-week training series. You've got myself, a couple other coaches, other individuals who've done official HYROXs. So there's a lot of expertise, a lot of information. There's a lot of nuances with the movements, with the transitions, with double strategy, with single strategy. All of that will be talked about and kind of flushed out throughout the 6-week series. I also send along a nice little newsletter. I don't want to call it weekly, but weekly-ish during those 6 weeks, just so like different things to be prepared for, shoes to wear, gear, because there's a lot of things that come in that, you know, people are like, I want to do a HYROX. Now what?
Sure.
And so a lot of know before you go type things.
That one really is preparing you more for a race. And then the weekly class is just like, if you enjoy this type of training,
Correct.
come get it in.
And if you're not a member here and you're interested in doing a 6-week series, you can even get more in a sense of you can do the Monday, the Wednesday, and then if you bought a punch card, you can do the Thursday class.
Yeah.
And then if you want to take Sunday move, so you can essentially do four classes with us.
And then your at-home workout, that's 5 workouts.
Yeah, five
really.
5 workouts. Yep, totally.
Yeah.
So yeah, super excited for that. We're going to be releasing that here shortly as well, and I'm assuming that's going to go pretty quickly. A lot of people are really excited for the 6-week training series.
Yes.
And then last but not least, of that 6-week training series, that culminates with the second Myriad HYROX full simulation on October 25th. Yeah, and October 26th.
Yes.
Talk to me a little bit about that.
So we had such great feedback and so much fun with our last simulation that we decided we wanted to run it for a whole weekend. We only did a doubles race on our very first weekend, but this time we're going to leave everything out so that we can run a doubles race on Saturday, and then on Sunday we can also run a singles race. Both will be full HYROX
Simulations.
Simulations. So you'll get the full distance, the weights, and everything in both of those races.
Yep. And those are looking to be the open division because that's the equipment we have right now is the open division. We don't have some of the heavier weights available with sandbags and such as that. So maybe more on that in the future, but as of right now, those are going to be the open division. So super pumped for that. That's going to get released here shortly as well. We'll start selling for that. So register, sign up. I know we've had quite a few people who did the previous simulation with us that were really excited for us to rock and roll and get that out there too.
Yeah, and this will be cool because you can either run it as the doubles, you could just run it as the singles, or there might be some people out there who want to run the doubles race and then also want to run the singles race. So that option will be available for folks who want to do that.
Kudos to those individuals who can do that. And there will be plenty of people who can do that, and that's awesome. I know my body can't handle that right now, but super cool for those who do that.
Yeah.
And the last thing I kind of want to finish up on is something that you and I have talked about before, but just like with HYROX, what I've really enjoyed about this and CrossFit and being, you know, a HYROX and CrossFit gym, it's kind of like the seasons of fitness. And we really kind of found a nice little pattern for ourselves in the sense of HYROX season is, you know, April, May-ish to October, November, because that's when the Chicago HYROX is. And then CrossFit season is November to, you know, March, April-ish, when the CrossFit Open happens. So really cool to kind of sort of find this little flow that we've got going, and super excited to see where that takes us.
Yeah, definitely.
Anything else to add?
No, we covered everything.
Did we finish in under 10 minutes for the first time?
That is the first time I remember doing that.
You know why?
Why?
Because we've already shot this episode.
Oh, yeah.
We shot this last week, but I forgot to press record. and that happens. So
unfortunately, a classic mistake.
yeah, it's happened 2 or 3 times. So all right, well, I think we've covered everything. Riley, anything to add?
No.
Cool. Awesome. Done.